Hello world, George Filip here. I just finished watching the third season of Star Trek the original series. I liked it a lot, it's a great show and it's what started everything else in the Star Trek universe. But before I go on to watch the animated series and then the next generation, I want to share the 10 things I didn't like about the series. If you're not a Trekkie, I'm sorry, this video isn't for you. If you're still here, let's start! Why is the series so repetitive? Almost every episode features telepathic or non-corporeal beings or some advanced computer which Kirk manages to destroy by providing it with two conflicting pieces of information. It was interesting the first time, but sometime between that time and the 10th, it became boring. The series is set in the 23rd century, but every monitor on the ship has to be at least this thick. I know it was normal in the 1960s when the series was made, but we've managed to reduce it to this size in 50 years. Why go back to this in 250 years from now? And why does every computer have to feature flashing buttons and lines when processing information? One of the main things I don't like about Star Trek the original series is that there's absolutely no continuity. If you take the 79 episodes of the series, shuffle them, and then watch them in that order, they would still make perfect sense, with the exception of that two-part episode in the first season. There is no rule for converting dates to star dates. The writers and producers just chose a random number at the beginning of every episode. They say it works that way and sometimes the star dates even go backwards because of the time dilation that occurs when traveling faster than light, but still, it would be nicer if there were some date to star date function. Next, how can they beam down almost completely unprotected to an unknown planet? The fact that the planet is Class M, basically Earth-like, does not mean that it is safe to transport the ship's captain, first officer, chief engineer and chief medical officer down without any security. The United Federation of Planets has many planets and different species. Why is everyone on the Enterprise apart from Spock human? There is only one scene in the entire series showing two other aliens working on the ship, but they die and only humans are left. Even Spock is half human, so there's only half an alien on the entire ship. Speaking of humans being the most populous species, almost all life in the galaxy seems to be humanoid. Did every planet follow the same evolutionary path, or is it just luck that the Enterprise visits humanoid lifeforms planets almost exclusively? Visiting the planet Talos 4 under any circumstances is the only death penalty left in the Federation's books, but it is completely allowed to visit 1,000 other more dangerous planets. Why? Okay, there's only half a Vulcan on the ship, but why does the ship's doctor complain when he has to help him medically? Is Spock supposed to cure himself? No, McCoy must be able to help everyone on the ship. Last thing I don't like about Star Trek the original series. Why is every alien in the galaxy more advanced than we are, and how do we still manage to win every single time? It doesn't make any sense. Those are the 10 things I didn't like about the show. Don't get me wrong, I loved it. There were just a few things I felt like complaining about. I might do another one of these when I watch The Next Generation. Live long and prosper, see you next week. This is George Filip, signing off.